Hey guys, Rodney Walker here, and I want to talk to you about retiring into grant writing. Yes, I said retiring. Are you thinking about retiring? Well, if you are, grant writing may be a wonderful field for you to consider because it has so many different opportunities for you that will allow you to do things in a retirement way, yet in a challenging way that keeps that mind really sharp, really active. So let's do this. Let's go for a little walk, and I just want to share with you some of the things that you may want to be considering if you're thinking about retiring into grant writing and exploring it. So with that being the case, here's the first thing that I want to share with you. I think that may be helpful for you to know if you're thinking about retiring into grant writing. Well, first, grant writing offers a really unique experience. And let me tell you about that experience. It allows you to be able to work remotely. And I know a lot of people who like to retire. In fact, I had one client that when they retired, they wanted to do some work and do grant writing actually remotely. And they had a vision of being able to do grant writing at Central Park. And that was her vision. So what is your vision? You may have some things that you want to do, but when you are doing grant writing in particular, grant writing does allow you to be able to travel and work remotely. And the way a lot of grant writers are doing grant writing these days, they're not just stuck at one location. They are working with clients, and the clients that they're working with are oftentimes in different cities, different states than they are. So that is one of the beautiful things that doing this career in particular provides. It also provides you an opportunity to be able to challenge your mind and work on various projects while also doing good. Yeah, it provides you an opportunity to do good, to help a lot of nonprofit organizations. And a lot of the grant writers that I work with and get a chance to share with in some of our groups, such as LinkedIn, that the Grant Writers Association there, and others, they enjoy being able to make a valuable contribution. So it's like they're working to help an agency get funds, and those funds are oftentimes going to do a lot of good that happens in a lot of the communities. So that is another reason why some people choose to retire into grant writing. Now, there are a number of things that you can do as a grant writer. Some people are doing grant consulting. So that's a whole nother area. Of course, you've got to first kind of learn how to do grant writing and understand grants. But there are other areas that are connected in this field that is not limited to just actually physically writing grants. There are some other opportunities that you may not be aware of. And I'll share, for instance, one with you just to kind of give you some insight. One could be simply helping organizations to find funders that will be likely to give monies to them and being able to do grant research. There are other opportunities, such as being a reviewer of grants. There are a number of ways to break into this field and do things in your retirement. But the bottom line that I want to kind of share with you, and what I really want to encourage you to kind of think about, is the fact that it does provide you with some opportunities to do some really cool things and help a lot of people. And if that's something that you're really passionate about and interested in doing, then grant writing could really be a great field for you in your retirement years. Now, we all know how society is. Sometimes society does not value as much if you're trying to break into the workforce, you being older. But here's what's interesting about grant writing. In grant writing, you can take your knowledge and that expertise, and your age may work well for you in this, meaning that you're seasoned, you had experience. And if you can learn, and I believe you can, how to tell an agency story and be able to share that in a really authentic way, that's a big part of what grant writing is and why you may be a good fit for this field. Now, I have some other videos that talk about, is grant writing for you? I won't go into all that here, but for the time being, just know that if you're thinking about retiring into this field, there is room, there is growth. There's some 1.5 million nonprofit organizations, so there are nonprofit organizations all around, and you can literally choose to, if you decide to go in this area, to work with those type of nonprofits that are a good fit for you, meaning that if you have an interest in helping, for instance, veterans, you can do grant writing for agencies like that. Or maybe if you have mental health, if that's an area, or social services. There are a number of different ways. There's even opportunities if you're really interested in working and helping governmental agencies of doing grant writing, because police departments, fire departments, EMS, all of them are dependent upon grants as well. They get grant funding. Schools receive grant funding. So there are a lot of opportunities. What I often encourage individuals that are thinking about retiring to do is really ask themselves, hey, where's the passion? What are you passionate about? Because, you know, a part of what you're doing is stepping out of one career and retiring. But when you retire, you want to retire into something that's going to be meaningful to you, that will allow you to make that meaningful contribution that does two things. One, that gives you those warm fuzzies, but also that puts some money into the pocketbook. So here's what I want to encourage you to do that. But in the midst of doing all of what we're talking about, I'm going to encourage you to take a listen to the next video that I have for you, because I'm going to share with you how to go about doing this. If you say, hey, you know, yeah, I'd like to possibly consider retiring into this, I'm gonna share with you some practical ways to go about doing this and give you some suggestions from somebody who's been doing this for a while. Okay, so thanks for listening. I want to encourage you to be brave, to be bold, and to be brilliant, and take charge in the midst of your retirement. All the best.